So today, guys, I wanted to talk about Call of Duty Zombie Labs and whether it's canon or not, or the canonicity of it. First things first, though, canon pretty much means it's a part of the story. It's, included within the universe. Just in case you were wondering what canon means, pretty much. So first things first, Jason Blundell said once that trailers are canon, and I'd probably agree with that in Black Ops 3, with the whole cycles and stuff. But for previous maps, I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with that. I mean, let's look at Der Riese. Pretty much all the characters die. We know Nikolai gets cornered and he goes down. We know Dempsey gets blown up, I think. And Takio and Richtofen just get cornered in the end. And so I'm just wondering, does this apply to the console trailers? Phase 1 and Phase 2? One thing you have to remember, though, is it's called Call of Duty Zombie Labs. They refer to it as that in the actual trailer. And so if this exists in universe, it'll actually be called Call of Duty Zombie Labs. That's a little bit weird, but it's not unheard of, the title of something being in that product. So like, for example, Marvel Comics, they actually have Marvel Exist in them. And so it would be a little bit like that. Now, if they were to exist, would you include them as part of Group 935, or are they their own entity? We don't see any 935 emblems throughout the location that we know they like to do, and I think if we were going to include them, then they could have easily just renamed them to Group 935. But for trailer purposes, for advertising purposes, they just call it Call of Duty Zombie Labs. You do have the wave gun there, and we know Porter created that, and he is or was a member of Group 935. So it's just something to consider. It's also worth noticing that the zombies don't have coloured eyes. They're not yellow, they're not blue or anything. And so, do you count that as something or not? Because I haven't read the comic yet, but I've been told that the eye colours in the comic is nothing. Like, there's no blue eyes, there's no yellow eyes, they're just kind of normal. And of course, the Resurrection posters, how they have the little artwork for the World at War maps, and it's like Night, Asylum, Swamp, and Factory. And the zombies in those don't have any, special eye colours. Now, you could say they didn't do the eyes because it's like live action, but you also have to consider that at other points they've put colour in for live action zombies. When they do the trailers, the zombies' eyes are actually glowing. So yeah, that's just another point to consider. I think one of the more interesting points, though, is the soldier who fires the wave gun. He looks remarkably similar to the Ascension poster guy. He looks so much like that guy. And Blundell confirmed, I think, a couple of months back that is not Richtofen, it's someone else. But this is when Jimmy was in charge. So I don't know if he was trying to make a resemblance between this guy and the poster guy, if he was trying to make him the same character, or if it's just a big coincidence. We do know that there are some small references and Easter eggs. In that little trolley with the guy putting the heads into the furnace, there is a teddy bear there. There is a barcode under the Call of Duty Zombies Labs that I don't think anyone has decoded. I don't think the image is sharp enough to do it. And even if it was decoded, I don't know if it would be anything special. It'd probably be a small little Easter egg, small reference probably. But if anyone can get that decoded, I think that'd be really interesting and worth knowing. Now, it's worth noting also that the scientists there, the workers there, they don't exactly look German. And we know 935 hired some international people. They got some people from other nationalities, like Harvey Yenna, for example. But if this is Call of Duty Zombie Labs and it's meant to take place on the moon, and we know that Richtofen secretly built a base there, presumably who he told would be German. We see in the Call of the Dead radios that he suspected Harvey Yenna and Peter McCain. So I think his trust with Americans and other nationalities would be a bit rigid. He'd probably only have his inner circle of 935 followers. And lastly, I want to talk about the voiceover and the description for the videos. The way things are said, the way it's worded in the description, it makes it sound like Call of Duty Zombie Labs is like an actual thing in real life. And so they're putting their research they do in real life towards, working on the game. Like, it's a department of Treyarch, and, Treyarch funded them, and then they give that research to Treyarch, and then they put that into the game. The voiceover says, recently we've discovered a zombie population on the moon. Well, there were never any zombies there until Samantha got into the MPD and she started wreaking havoc. And as far as we can tell, shit hit the fan pretty quickly. So I don't think they'd be able to test all these products on zombies, because Group 935, the Wonder Weapon program, it was made to be used by the Germans in the war. The purpose wasn't to kill zombies. And so this video, it aims like that's what its specific purpose was. I could get them testing it on zombies because we know, Maxis would rise them up at Group 935. But this wasn't the case on the moon. As I said, Richtofen's objective was building it and the whole MPD. They wouldn't have done the zombie testing up there. So in conclusion, guys, it's up to you to make your mind, whether you consider this a part of the story or not. Hopefully the points I brought up will help you make up your mind. Me personally, regardless of Blundell saying all trailers are canon, I just don't see how this can fit in and work in. It just seems like it's meant to be a real life sub-part of Treyarch. And the shit they do, they tell Treyarch like, hey, this is the stuff that would work against zombies in-game. Of course that doesn't happen, but that seems like that's what they were trying to achieve. But give these a watch, guys. They're actually really good and funny trailers. I wish they'd actually done more of them like these live action ones. I actually really enjoyed them. So give them a watch, make up your mind, and you decide whether you think this is included as part of the story or not. I'm gonna go, and I'll catch you guys later. Cheers!